What if I told you the reason you're not disciplined is because you think you need to be? We've been sold a lie that discipline is about grinding harder, pushing through pain, and relying on brute force every single day. That if you just had more willpower, everything would fall into place. You'd finally stick to your goals, follow through on your plans, and stop procrastinating. But here's the truth. Discipline isn't something you fight for, it's something you become. And until you understand that, you'll stay trapped in the same exhausting cycle. Motivation, action, burnout, guilt, repeat. How many times have you set a goal with genuine excitement, made a detailed plan, promised yourself this time it would be different, only to fall off within a week? It's not because you're weak, it's because you're trying to operate with a broken strategy. This video is your reset button. We're going to unravel the biggest myths about self-discipline, expose the traps that keep you stuck, and give you a blueprint to build rock-solid consistency, even when you feel lazy, overwhelmed, or unmotivated. And no, this isn't about forcing yourself to do more. It's about understanding the mechanics of behavior, why you do what you do, and how to shift your identity at the core. By the end of this video, you won't need motivation to take action. You'll take action because it's just who you are. This is more than a productivity hack. It's a perspective shift that can change your life. Let's stop chasing discipline and start living it. Let's get into it. Let's get one thing straight. Motivation is not the foundation of discipline. It's the enemy disguised as a friend. We've been conditioned to believe that when we're not taking action, it's because we're not motivated enough. So we try to hack our emotions, watching motivational videos, repeating affirmations, reading books about grit, hoping for that magical spark. And it works, temporarily. But motivation is unstable. It's emotional. It's affected by sleep, stress, diet, even the weather. One minute you're fired up to conquer your goals, and the next, you're scrolling your phone in bed wondering why nothing changes. Here's the trap. We wait to feel like it. We think motivation leads to action, but in reality, action leads to motivation. Think about this. How many times have you felt stuck until you started doing the thing, and suddenly you gained momentum? That wasn't motivation, that was movement. That was momentum built by doing, not waiting. Let's use the gym as a simple example. You watch a transformation video on YouTube, you feel inspired. You say, that's it, tomorrow I start. Day 1, you're pumped. Day 2, still going strong. Day 3, you're sore, tired, and life is getting in the way. You skip, then you skip again. By next week, you've quit. Why? Because the plan relied on motivation, not identity. Here's the hard truth. Motivation is a terrible foundation for consistency. If your success depends on how you feel each day, you'll lose more days than you win. Disciplined people don't wake up every day filled with energy and drive. They wake up and act regardless of how they feel. They've trained themselves to remove emotion from execution. They've stopped tying action to feelings. I don't feel like working. I don't feel creative. I don't feel strong today. That's fine, but here's the mindset shift. Feelings are not commands. You can feel tired and still go for a walk. You can feel uninspired and still sit down to write. You can feel unmotivated and still do what needs to be done. Because real discipline isn't dramatic, it's boring. It's showing up on Tuesday when no one's watching, when no one's clapping, when the spark is gone, and doing it anyway. Here's another powerful idea. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And systems that rely on motivation will fail you, every time. If you want to build real consistency, stop asking, how can I stay motivated? Start asking, how can I make this automatic? How can I make this part of who I am? This is where identity comes in. When your identity is, I'm a person who follows through, everything changes. It's not, I should work out today. It's, I'm the kind of person who trains no matter what. It's not, I should eat healthy. It's, I'm someone who fuels their body like an athlete. Identity creates automaticity. It removes the daily debate, and that removes the energy drain. This is how Navy SEALs train. Not on motivation, but on identity and repetition. It's who they are. They don't negotiate with themselves, they execute. And guess what? You don't have to be in the military to do this. You can become someone who acts consistently by shifting your self-image and removing your reliance on feelings. Because motivation is a mood, and moods change, but identity lasts. The more you act in alignment with your desired identity, the stronger it becomes. And the stronger it becomes, the less you have to force it. It becomes who you are. So let me ask you, are you chasing hype or are you building habits? Are you trying to feel good or are you trying to become great? Because discipline built on hype will burn out. But discipline built on identity, that will change your life. Forget the myth, motivation was never the answer. It's time to stop waiting. It's time to start becoming. So if motivation isn't the answer, then what actually creates consistent discipline? It's not a secret. It's not even complicated, but it does require a complete shift in how you see yourself and how you design your life. The real source of discipline is a three-part framework: identity, environment, and systems. When these three are aligned, discipline becomes automatic. Let's break it down. 1. Identity. Discipline starts with who you believe you are. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You will always act in alignment with your identity. If deep down you believe, I'm someone who always quits, you'll find a way to quit, even if your intentions are good. If you believe, I'm not a morning person, you'll resist getting up early. But if you believe, I'm disciplined, then acting with discipline feels natural, even when it's hard. This is why short-term motivation fails and identity lasts. Want to change your habits? Start with changing how you see yourself. Instead of saying, I'm trying to be more disciplined, start saying, I'm someone who does what needs to be done. Your brain craves consistency between belief and behavior. If your identity is strong, your actions follow automatically. And how do you change identity? Through evidence. Every time you show up, even in a small way, you reinforce that identity. You don't have to go all in, you just have to prove it daily. One tiny act at a time. 2. Environment. Discipline isn't willpower, it's architecture. Here's a wild idea. Most of your discipline problems are actually environment problems. You don't lack willpower, you're just surrounded by friction, distractions, and cues pulling you away from your goals. Your environment silently shapes your behavior. The snacks on the counter, the notifications on your phone, the cluttered workspace, they all nudge you constantly, and usually in the wrong direction. Want to wake up earlier? Put your alarm across the room. Want to work without distraction? Delete social media apps. Want to eat healthier? Don't buy junk food in the first place. You don't rise to your goals, you sink to your setup. Design your environment to support the behavior you want, not the habits you're trying to break. Make the right action the easy one. Make the wrong action inconvenient. This is the hidden art of discipline, making temptation hard to access and good behavior frictionless. You don't need more willpower, you need fewer obstacles. 3. Systems. Rely on structure, not emotion. If identity is your why and environment is your where, then systems are your how. Systems are routines, processes, habits. They take decision-making out of the equation. Instead of waking up and deciding whether to go for a run, the system says, you run every morning at 7 a.m. No debate, no emotion, just execution. High performers don't wing it. They follow systems. Writers block off time daily to write, even when they feel uninspired. Athletes train on schedule, not on mood. Entrepreneurs plan their week in advance to protect deep work time. It's not discipline in the way we usually imagine it. Grinding harder, pushing through pain. It's discipline through structure, through design. And systems can be simple. For example, the 2-minute rule. Start with something so small you can't fail. Want to build a writing habit? Write 1 sentence a day. Habit stacking. Link a new habit to an existing one. After brushing your teeth, meditate for 60 seconds. Implementation intention. Instead of vague goals, set concrete cues. I'll go to the gym at 5 p.m. after work on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. These may seem basic, but basic works. Boring works. And boring is sustainable. Put it all together. Identity plus environment plus systems. Here's where the magic happens. Let's say your goal is to eat healthier. Most people start with motivation. I'll eat clean this week. but someone playing at a higher level does this instead. Identity. I'm someone who fuels their body with intention. Environment. They remove processed snacks and fill the fridge with whole foods. Systems. They meal prep every Sunday and schedule a daily reminder to drink water. Which version do you think is still going strong in 3 months? Exactly. Motivation fades, but identity, environment, and systems, those are forever tools. And here's the best part. Once these are in place, discipline doesn't feel like effort. It feels like autopilot. You don't wake up wondering what to do. You already know. You don't debate your choices. You've already decided. The people you admire for their consistency don't have superpowers. They just have better systems and a stronger self-image. Discipline isn't about pushing harder, it's about designing smarter. And the more you design your life with this framework, the less you'll have to force it. You'll simply be the kind of person who just does it. And that's the goal, not to fight yourself every day, but to create a life that pulls you forward automatically. Let's be honest, this is the real battle, not the perfect days, not the motivated mornings, but the days when everything feels heavy, when you're tired, distracted, anxious, burned out, or just done. This is where most people break, and it's not because they're weak, it's because no one taught them what to do when they don't feel like it. We're taught to push harder, grind through it, no excuses. But let me tell you something radical. Discipline doesn't mean pushing to 100% every day. It means showing up at 10% and still doing something. Because the real goal isn't perfection, it's persistence. Use the 2-minute rule. When you're in a slump, reduce the task to its absolute smallest version. Want to work out? Do 2 minutes of stretching. Want to write? Open your doc and type 1 sentence. Want to clean your room? Just make the bed. The point isn't the task. The point is keeping the rhythm alive. You're telling your brain, even on bad days, we still show up. That's powerful. That's identity building. 2, show up anyway, but redefine showing up. Some days you'll crush your to-do list. Other days you'll barely get by. That's normal. But here's what consistent people do differently. They still show up, even when the output is low. A writer might type 2 sentences and call it a win. A runner might walk for 10 minutes instead of sprinting 5 miles. Why? Because the habit isn't just about progress, it's about pattern. It's about proving to yourself that I do this no matter what. You're not aiming for epic, you're aiming for evidence, because evidence builds belief, and belief builds behavior. 2, remove friction and lower the bar. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your level of setup. When you don't feel like doing something, your brain latches onto friction. It's too far, I'm too tired, I don't know where to start. Solve that by making action stupidly easy. Lay out your clothes the night before. Keep your journal open on your desk. Bookmark your workout playlist. Or your phone on Do Not Disturb. Your goal isn't to summon motivation. Your goal is to reduce the number of steps between you and the action. Because the easier it is to start, the more likely you'll do something. And something always beats nothing. Use micro wins to create momentum. When you're low on energy, go for quick wins that stack. Do 1 push-up, reply to 1 email, read 1 paragraph. Each small action builds the next. It's like knocking over the first domino. The science is simple. Momentum breeds motivation, not the other way around. Action first, feeling second. This is why disciplined people don't wait to feel ready. They start, badly if needed, and let momentum do the rest. New detach from emotion, focus on action. You don't need to feel inspired. You don't need to feel confident. You don't even need to feel good. You just need to act. If you start acting only when you feel like it, you'll never build consistency. Instead, act in spite of how you feel. That's real freedom. That's real discipline. Remind yourself, my mood doesn't decide my moves. This mindset is your secret weapon. 6, have a minimum viable day. Design a fallback version of your day for when things go wrong. Can't do the full workout? Just stretch. Too tired to journal? Write 1 sentence. Too busy to meditate? Breathe deeply for 60 seconds. These micro habits are your safety net. They protect your momentum, your identity, your progress. Even if the day is chaos, you still get a win. That builds trust with yourself. And over time, that trust becomes unshakable. 7. Celebrate the win, even if it's small. Did you show up today? Then you won. You didn't quit. You didn't ghost your goals. You honored your identity. It might not feel like much, but these small days are what separate the consistent from the chaotic. The truth is, your discipline isn't tested on good days. It's forged on the hard ones. So when you don't feel like it, don't wait. Don't quit. Just start tiny, show up low, stack the win, and prove to yourself again that you're the kind of person who keeps going. Even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Let's be real, most people never break free from the loop. They start strong, fall off, beat themselves up, and repeat. Not because they lack discipline, but because they never learned how to build it the right way. They rely on motivation, they chase hacks, they wait to feel ready. But now you know better. Because the truth is, discipline doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from designing smarter. It's not about waking up at 5 a.m. just to prove a point. It's about becoming the kind of person who follows through, even when no one's watching. The kind of person who doesn't negotiate with themselves, who doesn't wait for inspiration, who shows up because it's who they are. And here's the powerful part. You already have that version of you inside. You've just been blocking it with bad systems, messy environments, and outdated beliefs. But from now on, you're not chasing motivation. You're collecting evidence. You're building identity. You're creating frictionless systems and showing up on the hard days. And every time you do, you rewrite your story. Discipline becomes effortless, not because it's easy, but because it's automatic. You're not forcing it anymore. You're living it. And that's when things truly change. Not just your habits, your confidence, your energy, your self-trust, your entire trajectory. So the next time you feel stuck, remember this. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to start small and keep showing up. Because the most life-changing progress doesn't come from intensity, it comes from consistency. And now, you've got the blueprint. If this resonated, hit that like button to let me know. And if you're serious about becoming the best version of yourself, subscribe for more videos like this, because this is just the beginning. You're already becoming that person. Now go prove it.